you're the first and only at this point, or?
Yeah. So first and only woman to ever swim to Block Island. I was the third person to do it. And I did it for cancer research. So I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer about a year and a half ago. And I know it stinks, but it's amazing how many people cancer touches.
Yep.
And so throughout my dad's diagnosis and treatment, you know, all the books that I read and all the online articles were saying, you know, give your loved one something to look forward to. And I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to swim in the Olympics again because that is way too much work. I'm not at that physical ability anymore. Like, I'll cut my losses. I know my limits. So I was like, well, you know, I could swim. Like, swimming is the platform that I have. So how can I use it to excite my dad and give him something to like really hope for and look forward to while raising money for cancer research? And my dad and I, ironically, were down at Point Judith eating at George's, and you could see the island, and he was like, Elizabeth, do you ever think you could swim to Block Island? And at first thought, I was like, no, why would I do that? Like, that sounds horrible. Like, no.
You know there are sharks out there.
Yeah, I'm like, no thanks, Dad, that's a cute thought, but no. And that was like literally the seed he planted in my brain. And I got home that night, and I was like, I think that's it. So the next day I reached out to a nonprofit called Swim Across America, and they host swims around the country, and they raise money for cancer research, and they use local beneficiaries. And so I reached out to them, and I was like, hey, this is my idea. Would you be open to me donating all the dollars to you? And of course they were fully on board. And we ended up raising $665,000.
What?
Yeah, for cancer research, and it all went to in-lab, on-the-ground research, which is what I love about Block Cancer, which is, the swim was named Block Cancer. I thought this was brilliant because I was like, Block Island, Block Cancer. I wasn't going to use the F word, so I used Block. So, and the great thing about Block Cancer is all of the money goes directly to cancer research. You know, it's not funding the renaming of a hospital wing. It's doing real work.
Yep.
And I know that's something that my dad would be super proud of and excited about. He didn't end up making it to see me swim to Block Island. He had passed before that. But it was still a really, really beautiful tribute to him, and just a really beautiful way to kind of bring the community together. And I've made a little bit of lemonade out of some lemons, and that's kind of just how you have to live your life, you know?
Sure.
Things are gonna happen, and it's your perspective, it's how you handle it, it's your attitude. And yes, of course, it was devastating, and I get sad about it all the time, but I know that I'm doing something that's going to hopefully save somebody else's life one day.